Matt and Lauren. Part 2. Lauren never spoke about leaving again, but one day when Matt came home from work, he saw documents on the table. The apartment was now officially in his name, and there was a note. "My dear Matt, thank you for the happy years, for standing by me in difficult times, and for helping me find myself. Without you, I wouldn't have made it. Don't think I'm sad. I just don't have the strength to be the wife of a young man anymore. And please get married and have children, knowing that will make me happy." Matt gasped. He wasn't ready to lose Lauren. Panic set in. He tried to remember the name of the town she had moved to, but then he realized he didn't know. After all these years together, Matt had never learned where Lauren was from. She had never spoken about it. Maybe she had done it on purpose. But he didn't give up. For months, he traveled through small towns, visiting clinics, asking if a nurse named Lauren worked there, but he never found her. The divorce was finalized in her absence, by her request. When Matt finally realized that Lauren was gone forever, his life began to spiral downward. He started drinking. He drank so much that he lost his driver's license. He got into a fight with a coworker who, without thinking, congratulated him on his successful divorce and on finally having his own apartment. He had to change jobs and reapply for his driver's license. A new life began, a completely different one, with a new social circle. A year and a half later, Matt met Kristen. She looked a lot like Lauren. She was only 5 years younger than him. A few months later, Kristen got pregnant. Perhaps she did it on purpose. Matt was attracted to her, and the time to have children had long passed. As an honest man, Matt proposed to her. He only regretted not having the courage to tell her the details of his first marriage. It was too personal. His second wife knew only that Matt had been married before, but she had no idea about the age difference or the real reasons for the divorce, and she didn't try to delve too deeply into his past. 7 months after the wedding, they had twins, a boy and a girl, and only then did Matt realize he was happy again. He was happy like he once was with Lauren. Matt loved Kristen. He loved his children. The twins were already 5 years old. One Sunday, he decided to take them to the amusement park. Kristen stayed home. She decided that while the kids were having fun, she would do a thorough cleaning. Matt put the little ones on the carousel, carefully checked the seat belts, and stepped aside. He watched them laughing and spinning with joy. And suddenly, he noticed a thin figure standing behind a tree in the depth of the park. Matt flinched. His heart skipped a beat. He walked around the carousel and decided to approach her in a way that she wouldn't notice him and run away. Lauren stood there, leaning against the tree trunk, watching the children. When she saw Matt, she flinched, but it was too late to hide. She had changed. Matt turned around and saw Lauren standing in the doorway. She looked completely different from the years they had spent together. Her hair was gray, and instead of the loose ponytail, she wore a neat bun. Her face was adorned with fine wrinkles, but her eyes still held the same warmth he remembered. He stood there silently watching her. "Matt," Lauren softly said, "is it really you?" And he couldn't find the words. He realized that despite all the changes, it was still her. He got up, walked toward her, and embraced her. "How did you find me?" he asked, trying to hold back his emotions. "I went through memories. I followed the path of where you came from. I wanted to see you and your children. They look like you. I'm so happy for you, Matt." "You shouldn't have." His voice drowned in emotions. "I couldn't help it," Lauren replied, her voice soft, yet filled with nostalgia. "I wanted to see your happiness, everything that came after us." He looked at her, then glanced at his children laughing on the carousel. Now he understood why he had left them behind. They had both been searching for happiness, and perhaps that was what mattered. He turned to Natalie with tenderness. "You did the right thing, Lauren." She smiled back, as if accepting that their paths had long diverged. But there was still something more than just memories left between them. Kristen was surprised but also intrigued by Lauren's offer. She looked at Matt, searching for his reaction, and he simply nodded silently, as if confirming that he had no objections. After everything that had happened and the small secret that had hung between him and Lauren for so long, he understood. Life moves forward, And now it was important to him that Kristen also found common ground with the woman who had meant so much to him. I think this is a great idea. Kristen smiled, approving the invitation. The kids will be thrilled with a real village. Matt, seeing how they were getting along, felt a sense of relief. This was a new phase in their life, new relationships that couldn't be turned back, but which could be built on trust and openness. I'll go. It will be a good change, Lauren agreed, as if in that moment she was truly leaving everything behind. With you, I feel young again. These kids, they warm me with their kindness. I'm happy that you're happy. The next weekend, Matt, Kristen, and their children went to the village. The road was endlessly long, but the impressions from their arrival and the evenings spent by the fireplace, where Lauren cooked dinner and told stories, filled their hearts with warmth. And although many difficult memories still lingered in their hearts, it was all in the background. In that moment, they were a family, and that was what mattered to Matt. Perhaps true happiness lies in simple things. Family comfort, time spent together, the warmth and love they shared with each other. Matt stood silently, listening to Lauren, and his heart beat once again. He felt her words. They were calm but real. Everything he had experienced with Lauren remained an important part of his life. That love was different now, more mature, more understood. Yes, it's true, he thought. Our love has changed, but it hasn't disappeared. It's in a different form, and even now, when we're from different worlds, I still feel that connection. He took a deep breath, feeling inspiration fill his soul. His life had taken on new colors after he went through pain and sorrow, and now he looked at it all as part of his journey. Thank you, Lauren, he said, smiling faintly. You're right. You've always been a part of my life, and even though we're moving in different directions, it doesn't mean that love disappears. We remain important to each other. Lauren smiled gently. She knew that even in difficult situations, people could maintain warm relationships, and that was the greatest blessing for her. I'm glad you understand it this way, Matt. You became a part of my life, just as I became a part of yours. We've been through a lot, and now we can be friends that we can rely on. These were words of peace and acceptance, offering calm and inner balance. And even though Matt and Lauren's paths no longer crossed the way they once had, their connection remained. Now when everyone together, Kristen, Matt, and the children, could enjoy a summer day in the village, collecting memories, warmth, and light, it was more than just a trip. It was a moment when the past and the present merged into something greater.